There's no problem, no?
No, sir.
Okay, then I think, yeah, we
It's
can
clear.
be. Okay, see. So, what are we going to do in this chapter called units and measurement? Okay. Before I proceed, let me just tell you. In physics, whatever we study, okay, we study about phenomena around us, okay, various things happening. We find out the reason behind things happening. We try to explain the things, and okay, and that we do by writing a set of laws, okay. So, when we do write this set of laws, we have quite a number of quantities or measurements appearing before us, okay. In anything, right, you must have noticed in class 9 or 10, you write Newton's laws like this: F equals to ma, which is okay, which contains this quantities like force, mass, and acceleration. You write any law, okay, let's say Newton's law of gravitation also. Maybe you've just seen this in class 9, okay. Don't worry about this right now, we're just trying to develop some concept for this chapter, okay. So every time you want to explain something, why earth pulls some other objects, okay, we write a law called gravitational law, that is this. But notice we have this measurements, okay, this is a mass, this is a mass, this is a distance, this is force, all these are measurements. And in physics, measurements are very, very important, okay. So that is what we are going to start with. In this chapter, you're going to learn how we make measurements, how do we record them, and how do we present them, okay. Suppose you are making a measurement and you want to tell me the measurement, okay, whatever it is. You need to follow a set of rules, okay. You need to tell me that this is the measurement and this is the answer, okay. This is what you are presenting to me. But I should also understand, okay, the way you are giving me the measurement values. So I should also understand that. And that's why there should be some rules, okay, the way we express our answers or measurements or anything, okay. So that is what we are going to deal with in this entire chapter, okay. Okay, let's begin with this. First thing first, okay. See, the first thing I want to talk about is quantity, okay. You can speak, okay. You can switch on your mic and speak, okay. Let's not be just one way interaction, okay. So tell me, guys, what do you know about quantity? Suppose if I ask you what is a quantity, what is your answer, guys? Quantity, anything that you feel like you can speak. Quantity. Yes, yes,
Amount
speak.
of things.
Amount. Okay, let me just write amount of things. Okay, anything else? What is a quantity for us? Can you give me examples also? Yes, yes, you can try. Quantity. Okay, let me tell you then, okay. Quantity for us, okay, is anything that we can measure, that we can make a measurement of, okay, that we can make a measurement of, anything that can be measured. Let me just write that, anything which can be measured. So that is what is known as a quantity for us, okay. So can you just name something that we can measure? Anything, yes, I'm going to start writing them. Yes, guys, yes, switch on your mic, don't be shy, okay. See, don't be shy at all. We can't see you, I can't see you also, okay, so it's fine, no. So you can just speak, okay. Yes, waiting, guys.
Weight.
We can
So
measure.
any example?
Yes, examples. Weight.
So the length of
Length of, okay, fine. Length of anything, right?
yes,
Okay, okay, then yes, continue, yes.
Mass.
Mass, yes, mass of this table maybe, okay, or maybe your mass, my mass, okay, anything, right? Anything else? Yes, more, we have more, not only this, we can measure many things. We can measure volume. Time, yes, we can measure time. Yes. What else, guys?
So
Many things. We can measure area of something. Yes, we can do that. We can measure density of an object or anything. We can do that. What else? We can
What frequency of sound, sir?
frequency of sound, of course. Yes. Okay, we can measure frequency of sound. That is also a quantity for us. Yes. Yes. This is just a general discussion. Okay, guys. Don't think that we have to by heart these things. No, not at all. Okay, just concepts.
yes.
More. There are so many things. How can you not think? Yes, waiting.
So what's breadth?
Huh? You said something? Force. Yes, force. We can measure how much push we are applying to something or how much pull we are applying onto something, no? Yes, we can do that. We can measure force. There are so many things. We can measure intensity of light, how bright a light is. We can measure intensity of sound also, how loud the sound is. All of these, they have some meaning, okay? We can measure intensity of sound, light. I can measure how big is a wavelength of a wave. We can do that. If you remember this in class 9, maybe you have done a bit of it at least. Okay, wavelength. Frequency I've already said, yes. Okay, fine. So whatever is this, right? So anything which we can measure, right? We'll start calling them what? Quantities. Okay. And when we make these measurements, okay? Okay, by the way, let me just ask you one more thing. Oh, temperature, I forgot to tell you. Okay, see, temperature is also a quantity. Momentum, acceleration, speed, how fast are moving, right? All of them, these are going to tell us something, okay? Now that is what is a quantity for us, okay? Now let's try to understand what is the meaning of physical quantity. See, physical quantity means quantities which appear in describing any physical laws. For example, you can see this one, see, F equals to ma, right? Okay, this is your Newton's law, if you have seen. So in this law, we are using a quantity called F, using a quantity called m, and using a quantity called a. All this I can just directly call them quantities, or now I have another name, we can still call them, or call them physical quantities, okay? So basic idea behind physical quantities is the quantities which appear in describing, okay, or understand a given phenomena or law or principle, okay? We will call them physical quantities. Not a big deal, no need to remember, no need to memorize these things, but that is what a physical quantity is for us, okay? Now, what is measurement for us? See guys, so what is the meaning of measurement? Any idea what is the meaning of measurement? Measurement, let me tell you, okay, let me help you out with this. You will not be able to tell me that it is a process of comparison, but let me just show you what is the meaning of measurement, okay, and what do we do with measurement. See, this is important for us to begin with, okay? Then I'll come to the main topic. See, what is measurement for us, okay guys? See, measurement according to this, okay, is a process of comparison, okay? I'll give you an idea, okay, why I called it a process of comparison. See, by now you all must have used a scale, of obviously, right, a normal scale, okay, that you have. You have these markings which we call divisions. You have a marking here, we have a 0 centimeter mark, let's say on a scale. We have 1 centimeter mark on your scale, and at equal divisions, okay, equal gap, we have 2 centimeter mark, 3 centimeter mark, and so on, okay? So see, so if I have this scale which has these markings or divisions, and suppose I want to measure the length of this rod, okay, see, this is a rod, I'm placing it. So basically this is what we do, right? We put one end on the 0 centimeter mark of the rod, this is the rod I'm talking about, and the other end we check, right, where it is, okay? So right now let's say it is at exactly a 3 centimeter mark. So what is your answer, guys? What is the length of this rod? We're making a measurement, by the way, no? So what is the length of this rod? Length, easy, this one, 3 centimeter, okay. What is the meaning of this 3 centimeter? Let me try to tell you, okay, why we call it process of comparison, okay? See, you will agree to me that all of us, we know what is 1 centimeter, right? From here to here we know, we call it 1 centimeter. The length of this rod is 3 centimeter, that means it is 3 times more compared to your 1 centimeter. Can you understand? So it's like comparing or not?
Yes.
Okay, this 3 centimeter, it is like 3 times of what? It is 3 times of 1 centimeter. That means, yeah, this entire thing is a comparison with what centimeters? 1 centimeter. Can you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
this is what we do, right? This is what we do with everything actually. If I tell you the temperature is 10 degrees Celsius, it is like writing 10 times of 1 degree Celsius. We are comparing 10 degree with 1 degree. How much it is? It is 10 times of 1 degree. The moment we make a measurement, yes, okay, the moment we make a measurement, it is like we are talking about comparison, okay? And of course, you know what is 11 degree? Again, see, I can easily compare now 10 degree and 11 degree also, right? These are measurements. So I'm comparing them now, okay? The comparison is what? 11 degree is 1 degree more than compared to your 10 degrees. So every time I make a measurement, there is some comparison going on between them, okay? So that is what is the meaning of that. So let's not go into much detail, but you already understand a bit of it, okay? Now, why do we need something called a unit? That is very important. You have to understand this unit, okay? See, suppose I ask you what is the length, and you tell me the length, okay? Length of something is 3. Obviously nobody understands this. Nobody has what you are saying, right? Obviously you'll agree to me, right? Nobody understands the length of 3, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Nobody understands, okay? Nobody will understand, right? But the moment I write here centimeters, now you get an idea, right? You already start having an idea. What is the meaning of 3? And then we have centimeters. Without the centimeters, we have no idea of what we are talking about, okay? But we have the centimeters, so we have some idea now what is going on, okay? The moment we have the centimeter, okay? Not only that, if I have 4 kgs also, right? You know, right? We have this kg, and we know what we are talking about. We are talking about a mass that is 4 times of 1 kg, okay? So what is this that I'm writing here? What is this, guys? What is this called? This kg and centimeter, what do we call? These are called units, okay? Do you understand that this centimeter, kg, or let's say meters, centimeter, or let's say seconds, all these are units, okay? Do you agree or not? Okay, just tell me about this. Do you agree that the kg in Earth, okay, not in Earth, sorry, in Shillong, okay, or let's say India, will be the same kg in England or not?
Yes, sir.
England, okay, let's go to England, no? England, and then let's compare India, okay? So the centimeter that I'm talking about, the kg that I'm talking about, the seconds that I'm talking about, okay, it's all the same thing, okay, the same thing that we also talk, okay, we can talk in England, okay, it's the same thing, okay, it should not be different, by the way, okay. So what is this centimeter or meter, or what is this kg, or what is this seconds, okay? Let me just tell you, see, all these are references. All these are references. Let me make it more clear. Don't worry, okay, we are just trying to understand some idea. These are standard references. The moment I tell you 1 centimeter or centimeter, we understand what is that. The moment I tell you what is a meter, everybody understands what is that. The moment I tell you kg, everybody understands what is that. The moment I tell you seconds, everybody understands what is a second, okay? So these standard references, let me just read out to you a definition. Not very difficult thing, okay, see. Accepted references of standard of measurement of, let's say, of mass or length or time or anything, or temperature, right? The accepted references that we use, we call them as units. Can you understand? So that we can refer to anything. See, the centimeter means we are referring to something, right? Okay, by now you know, okay, you have a scale. By now you have a scale which has a division from here to here. Let's say, okay, here I'm sitting here in my room, let's say this is 1 centimeter, okay, then I send this to you. This becomes a reference for you also. Now you will also start calling it 1 centimeter. That is how it works actually, okay. Then anywhere you send to all of your friends, and tell your friends that, yeah, let's say that this is our reference, okay. It's a standard reference from us from now onwards, and we will all call it 1 centimeter. Can you understand? I'm distributing it. Today I call it 1 centimeter, I send to all of you. From tomorrow, all of you also will start calling it 1 centimeter. So it becomes a standard reference. And that is what is we are going to call as a unit, okay. I'll give you another example, okay. I have that picture somewhere. If I can find, I'll show you. But still, if you don't understand unit also till now, no problem, okay. We can still further move on. But what I want to tell you is this, guys. See, if I'm making a measurement, our measurement should not only have these numbers. I should not have only a number like 3 or 4 or 5. This is not so good for us. We don't understand what do we mean. But the moment we put references like 3 centimeters, okay, or let's say 4 kg, or let's say 5 minutes, the moment we have these references with minutes or kg, now we understand what we are talking about. All of us, we understand, okay. And these references only, the chosen ones, we call them units, okay. So all these are different quantities. You can see this is a length measurement, obviously this is a mass measurement, this is a time measurement, so we have these things, okay. Now see, now what are fundamental, this is the main topic actually, okay. What are fundamental units? Fundamental units or base units, that is the name we give it, okay. Fundamental you can already understand. Fundamental means very, very elementary, very, very elementary. Now let me just give you an example very quickly. If I want to study any language, I need to study about letters, no, A, B, C, D, like that, okay. Any word I want to construct, I will construct using these letters, okay. Same thing happens with us also. If I'm looking for unit, the reference, the accepted reference of any quantity, like your length or mass or time or temperature, right? The units associated with these quantities, we are going to call them fundamental units or base units, because I cannot derive any of these units from any other way. Okay, I'll help you out again if you did not understand. I cannot derive A from anywhere, no chance. Okay, I cannot derive B, C, D. These are fundamental for us, the letters. Okay, but I can derive any word you tell me. Okay, I can derive apple, boy, cat, no, like that, right? So these are derived. This is derived from these letters. I hope you understand. Okay, the word that I'm talking about, the apple is derived, the boy, the word is derived. A, B, C, D are not derived. Okay, they are fundamentals. We need them so that we can talk about any other word. Okay, same thing happens with us also. Here we have something called fundamental units. That means we cannot get it from anywhere else. We need to start with them. They are elementary units. Okay, example, elementary units like your length. I cannot get unit of length from anywhere else. I have to take it as fundamental, and other things we can derive from length. Similarly, mass, don't worry if you're not getting me right now. You will get the moment I give you examples. Okay, even your mass. Okay, I cannot go around and derive a unit for mass. Okay, mass is fundamental itself. Even for time, fundamental. I cannot go around and derive unit which is time from others. Okay, they are very, very fundamental to us. Even temperature, there are a few more things. Okay, let me make it clear by looking at this example. See guys, if I ask you what is the speed, you are going to tell me the speed of this car or that car is 10 meters per second, suppose. Okay, just an example. There's a car. Okay, very simple example. It's moving with 10 meters per second. You know what does it mean. Now let's check. Okay, see. So what is that 10 meters? The 10 meters, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you that it is a measurement of distance. 10 meters per second here represents 1 second actually. That is measurement of time. So we have a measurement of distance and we have a measurement of time. And now you can tell me how many quantities are we talking about here. See guys, we are talking about 3 quantities here. Okay, one is distance, one is time, and because of distance and time, okay, we are getting a quantity called speed. Now if you ask me, okay, what is the unit of distance? The distance unit is meters and the unit of time is seconds. And if I ask you now what is the unit of speed, you are going to tell me the unit of speed is the unit of distance divided by the unit of time. So if I ask you, okay, who depends on what here actually, right? So you are going to tell me what? That unit of speed depends on the unit of distance, and unit of speed depends on the unit of time. Whereas the unit of distance is not dependent on the unit of speed, no chance, okay? And the unit of time is also not dependent. I'm repeating again. The unit of distance is not dependent on speed, no chance, okay? And the unit of time also is not dependent on speed units, okay? But the unit of speed is something which is dependent on this and this, okay? That's why, you can tell me, I guess, right? This distance, the unit of distance, what are we going to call it, guys? We'll call it just unit, or we'll call them fundamental units?
Fundamental units.
Fundamental units, okay? I hope you understand this part, right? Guys, is it okay? Did you really understand?
Yes, sir.
Manbha is there, Manbha? Manbha, I forgot.
Manbha, sir.
Oh, Manbha, yes, I used to forget name, okay? Names. So see, yeah, so the ones, okay, the quantities which we cannot derive from other quantities, okay, they have units called fundamental units. I can even call them fundamental quantities, okay? Now let me just tell you some derived units, very simple. Speed, you already know, derived from this units of length and time. Acceleration is also derived from length and time. Velocity also derived from length and time. Momentum, anybody heard about momentum? Momentum.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the formula for momentum, guys? Mass into
Mass into velocity.
mass into velocity. Okay. Let's just try to understand a little bit of it. Don't worry. We are doing fine. I think I should go a bit fast with this. These are very simple things. Okay. So momentum is a quantity. I know it is a quantity which is derived from these two quantities called mass and velocity. Okay. And mass is very, very fundamental for us. So we have mass measured in kilograms, velocity measured in meters per second, suppose, okay? Kilometer per second, kilometer per hour, or anything, doesn't matter right now. So you tell me now, guys, okay? Tell me the derived quantities here. Which one do you think is derived?
Momentum, sir.
Momentum is derived. Okay, momentum is derived. We get the units even
velocity.
Even velocity is derived. Yes, you can check. Yeah, how? Because see, kg is not derived, it is fundamental with mass. Velocity is derived with meters, which is length, and second it is time. No, so this is time. So we have unit of time, we have unit of length clubbed in together here, so that we get unit of velocity. That is derived. So this whole expression is a derived unit for momentum actually. Okay, and don't worry, the momentum unit is kg meter per second. Okay, don't worry about that. Force, you know, right? Newton. Have you heard about Newton? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is Newton? Who can tell me what is Newton, guys? If I tell you Newton, what is Newton? Don't tell me the name of the scientist. Suppose I tell you 1 Newton. What is 1 Newton?
Force.
Yeah,
Force
yeah.
into acceleration. Oh, no, but mass.
Mass into acceleration. So it is equal to how much? Do you know one Newton of force is like writing 1 kg mass into accelerations meter per second square. Newton is a unit, okay? It's a unit, and that unit is exactly equal to kg meter per second square, right? Mass into acceleration. See this one. Don't worry about this. But I can tell you right now. What I can tell you is this, right? So unit of force is what, guys? It is fundamental or derived? This is Newton. Don't worry about this. It is derived. Derived. Newton is exactly kg meter per second square. But we call it shorthand. We call it newtons. Don't worry about this. Okay, we will come to this and everything will be fine. Don't worry about this. Okay. So just yeah, these things don't remember. Don't memorize. Okay, these things. They don't ask you these things at all. Okay. See. Now try to understand why we need something called system of units. What is system of units? System means we are going to follow some rules and put them together, and we are going to have different groups actually. Okay, so we have many groups. The names of these groups are, I'm going to show you one by one, then you will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so see, so we have a system called CGS system, okay, where I'm going to put units of different quantities. I have FPS system. Here also I'll put the units for different quantities, okay, put them together. Or maybe let's say MKS system, but the most important one that is going to be there forever, okay, for us is your SI, okay, we call it System International or International System of Units. This is the most important one. But the basic idea for all of them is this, guys. See, we put all the quantities of fundamental quantities actually, okay, in one group like your CGS, then some other units in FPS system, okay, that is the other group, MKS system some other group, and System International a very big group. Okay, now try to understand what does this group has. See, guys, when I say CGS, okay, by the way, let me just write down, let me just show you something, then I think I can proceed to this thing. See, guys, when we started, okay, at the early days, okay, very very early days, that means 100, 200, 300 years ago, okay, people did not study so much about astronomy, people did not study so much about heat or thermodynamics, people did not study so much about light. You know what is the first thing people started studying? What do you think, guys? At early days, what do you think? People started studying about what? Yes, yes. If you are just beginning some civilizations, no? What do you learn, guys? What do you think? Yes.
Measurements, sir.
Measurements? No, no, no. Tell me something. Okay, measurements in a way, but I'm talking about branch actually of physics. What do you think? People just started in early civilizations. Do you think they started with computers? They started computers, no, right? No. Did people at the early civilization started sending rockets? No. What did people started studying? At the beginning, most fundamental. Okay, even before, yeah, okay, even before physics, yeah, people started numbers, yes. People started numbers, people started studying geometry, right? Because that is everywhere around us, no? So people started this, okay. In physics, actually, let me just talk about this. In physics, you know what people started studying? People started studying motion. That is everywhere around us, right?
Yes, sir.
This is what,
Yes, sir.
yeah, this is what people started studying, okay. So when you start studying motion, what do you need, guys? Tell me. What are the things you need? What are the things you need? Suppose an object is in motion. It goes from one point to another point, right? There's a change of location. How fast this transfer takes place from point A to point B? They need time. To talk about motion, we need time. Okay, so we need time to talk about motion. Very important. Okay, what else we need, guys?
Sir, mass.
Mass also very good. Mass. Motion is very, very important. Mass is very important for motion. Okay, mass. What else do you think we need?
Speed.
Speed. Speed comes here. Speed is not fundamental, but fundamental is which one?
So the direction in which it is moving.
Okay, direction also we study. No problem with that. Okay, but what I want to say is distance, which is nothing but length only. So when you study motion, no, you need these three things. Okay, that is what I'm trying to tell you. See, guys, if I'm studying motion, we need length, we need distance, we need that. Okay, if you're studying motion, we need to know about mass, because mass controls the motion of an object. If you take a very light object, you try to push it, it will move with very high speed or acceleration. If you take a very big object, try to push it with more mass, it's very difficult to have its motion. No, so motion depends on mass. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is this. Okay, when we study motion at the early days, okay, we have length measurements needed, because we need to measure length to talk about motion. We need to measure mass to talk about motion. We need to measure time to talk about motion. Okay, and that's why look at the systems here that we have, the beginning ones. Okay, this one, the three systems. We have CGS system where we are measuring length, and we are saying that the measurement, okay, of length, we will use a unit called centimeter. Keep it fixed in this kind of system. We'll make a measurement of mass. We'll use a unit called grams. Okay, you have an idea about how much is grams also, I think, by now, or at least let's say kilogram, but CGS uses grams. Seconds also, you know, you have some idea about seconds. You know what is 1 second, right? Okay, so you have some idea. Okay, so this is the measurement of time. That means if I come and tell you, okay, if I come and tell you, let's make measurement, okay, and I ask you to make a measurement using the first system, this system, which is called CGS system, you are going to make a measurement of length, but use only which scale, guys? We are going to always use centimeter. You are going to tell me the answer in centimeter. You are not going to tell me the answer in kilometer or meter. Can you understand this system?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, again, okay, if I ask you to measure mass and I tell you use CGS system, don't use any other system. Okay, I tell you to use this system, right? You're going to tell me the measurement of mass. Okay, how much? In only what? Grams. C means centimeter, G means grams, and S means seconds. And I ask you to measure time. You don't tell me the time in hours. You have to tell me the time in seconds. Okay, and seconds and hours can be converted. Grams, kilograms can be converted. Centimeter, meter, kilometer, they can be converted. That's not a problem. But you are going to tell me the answer in these units. Okay, no chance you're going to tell me 1 minute. The answer is time is 1 minute. Wrong. I'm not using which system? CGS system. 1 minute is wrong, because minute is not what you should use in this system that you're going to follow. Okay, so you are going to write what, guys? Will you write 1 minute or will you write 60 seconds?
60 seconds.
60 seconds. Yeah, now I'm following the system called CGS system. Okay, similarly, okay, by the way, French people, they have given this system called CGS system. British people have a different system. Okay, they use this one, FPS. F stands for foot, which is again a measurement of length. I think you know foot, right? Okay, then yeah, mass is measured in FPS system in what? Pounds. Pounds, no? So if you go to Britain, no, and you ask somebody's mass, they'll tell you in pounds. They are not comfortable with kilograms actually. I think you have noticed that, no? Then yeah, time of course is in seconds. So this is a different system. If I tell you make the measurement in FPS system, you have to make measurement in foot, pound, and second. Okay, we need to check the conversion. We'll do that. Okay, in a while. Then we have MKS system. Suppose I tell you don't use CGS, don't use FPS, but let's use what, guys? MKS system. In MKS system, we have what, guys? Meter. M stands for meter. You're going to make the length measurement in meter, mass measurement in kilograms, and time measurement in seconds. Okay, so fundamental units, these are the fundamental units in this system that we have. Okay, now let me tell you, why do we need something called system international or international system of units? Okay, too many calls, right? I'll put in silent. Okay, see, so why do we have this new system? See, guys, as I told you, right, at the beginning, right, people studied only what, guys? Motion, no? And everybody's happy, okay, because we need time measurement for motion, mass measurement in motion, and distance or length measurement in motion, okay. But then people studied more and more things. People studied about heat. In heat, do you think time measurement we need? Maybe yes, we need, okay, but what else measurement do you think in heat? What else?
Sir, temperature.
Temperature, yes. Temperature, but look at this. Do we have any, do we have any of this, or we don't have that? No, we don't have
Yes,
to now.
master. We offer.
Sorry? Yes?
Never mind. Yeah.
Yes, you said mass, okay. Mass also we have in heat actually, we need that, no problem with that. But in heat we also need what? Temperature, okay. And we don't have temperature in this system, right? Till now we don't have temperature, okay. MKS to some extent it has, okay. Later we'll talk about that if needed. But CGS definitely and FPS doesn't have the temperature, okay. So people are studying more new things. People need to know about temperature. People also need to know about intensity of light, okay. Intensity of light. Do you think I can tell you the intensity of light is 10 kg and then meters and let's say second? This is, do you think it's making sense?
No, sir.
Imagine I ask you the brightness of light. You tell me 10 kg, meter and second. Doesn't make sense, right? Okay, obviously not. So these are units for intensity, or these are not units for intensity? Not unit for intensity, no chance, okay. So we need some more units actually, okay, because we have more quantities, we want to talk about more quantities because our subject is becoming bigger and bigger, okay. So we have intensity of light. I can just tell you one more thing. When we study about heat or temperature, or let's say thermodynamics, that means about temperature actually. And when we start talking about gases, you know about gases, okay. And in chemistry you have heard about, have you heard about mole?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
okay, so what is 1 mole? If I ask you what is 1 mole, what is that, guys? It tells you something, right? What is 1 mole? 10 mole is, 1 mole is equal to Na, right? Do you know Na? What is Na? Okay. If you don't know, I'll remove it. Okay, I'll write it down. 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, no? 23 or 22, I forgot. 20?
23.
23, okay, 23. Particles, right? Or atoms, or molecules. So, what is this, guys? Mole is telling me something, right? It's telling me about what? Number of particles or atoms or molecules, okay, for anything that I'm talking about, okay. It tells you about the number, or let's say amount of matter also we call it, no? Amount of matter. So it is a measurement, see. This is how we measure the amount of matter, okay. How many particles are there, okay. This is what we do. So actually we need this in thermodynamics, we need in many other things. But my point is this, guys, see. Obviously I don't have enough quantities here in these systems, okay. But your SI system comes with more quantities, more fundamental quantities, and there are 7 of them, okay. That is what we are going to discuss right now, see. So I'll not talk about that, but idea is International System of Unit has or covers all quantities like for all branches of physics. Now these are good enough for us. We don't need more than this. That's the best part of it, okay. See, guys, see. So what I want to tell you is this. If we have International System or SI system, it contains 7 base units or fundamental units, and we need 2 more supplementary units, we call them, those are angles. And using 7 base units and 2 complementary units, we can talk about any quantity that we need to in the entire branches of physics. Can you understand? I can talk about anything only by using this 7 base units or 7 base quantities, okay. So that is what we are discussing right now, okay. Don't worry, you will get me. So please check what are those 7 base quantities, okay. So see, if you are using SI system, you are going to measure mass. Yes, I can measure mass, but you are only going to use what, guys? Kilogram. You are not going to tell me the answer in grams. That is for CGS. If I'm using SI system, you are definitely going to tell me the answer in kilograms, okay. That is fixed. I'll tell you what is kilogram, okay, in a while. Let's check the second quantity, see. So this is mass, M. This is length, L, okay, length. Length is again a base quantity. It's a fundamental quantity we need in physics, we need in all the branches of physics, okay. And I'm going to make sure that if I'm using SI system, I'm always going to measure in what, guys? Meters. I hope you understand, okay. This is almost like MKS system, okay. Meter, kilogram, second system, MKS system, almost like that. Time, always going to be measured in second. Now you can use SECs for second. You can also use SE like that. Okay, you can just write S also. Okay, for seconds. Okay, we'll talk about the definitions. Just give me some time. And we need one more thing, guys. See, we need also call something called current. Now, the fourth one is current. If somebody asks you to measure current, we can do that, but we'll use only one unit. What is that unit, guys?
Ampere.
Amperes. Okay, you have heard about amperes, of course. And the symbol we use is capital A. All these symbols you can check, they are small letters, no? kg, meter, second, they are small letters. Okay, why? Because they are not the name of any scientist. Okay, any unit it is named after a scientist, you have to use capital. Okay, so electric current is amperes, so use capital A as a symbol. Kelvin also is the name of a scientist, right? And we have used Kelvin where? To measure temperature, right? So temperature is our fundamental unit. Then we have amount of substance, we use in mole. Mole is not a name of a scientist, so we write small m, mol. Okay, then we have something called luminous intensity. Luminous means brightness here right now. Okay, so brightness is measured in what units, guys? Candela. No chance. Okay, you can use no chance you can use amperes or seconds and other things. Okay, right now to talk about brightness. So these are the 7 things. Please understand. Okay, if I'm using SI system, I am going to use this 7 fundamental quantities. 7 fundamental quantities. That is quite good enough for us. We don't need any more quantities. Okay, so that's why you can already see the advantage of SI system is that we have everything covered. Okay, this is what we have. Okay, and these are the units we are always going to use. No other units is allowed. Okay, because this is how we talk, right? If I'm following or choosing a system of units, I have to follow what are the units inside it. No, so this is what we are going to follow. Okay, I think this part is clear right now. Okay, is it okay, guys? Okay, now let me tell you what is a kilogram. Okay, do you know what is a kilogram? Anybody knows what is a kilogram? Don't look at the definition. So who are we going to call kilogram, guys? Let's talk about that, because you have to have an idea. What is a kilogram? Don't read there. Okay, don't read from there. Yes, 1 kilogram. What do you think is 1 kilogram? It's mass, no? Measurement of mass, not weight. Okay, it's a measurement of mass. How do you think people came and said that, yeah, this much mass this much heavy thing we will call 1 kilogram, this much heavy I'll call it 2 kilogram. How do you think people came to this? Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, see. Okay, now these people are disturbing me so much. Okay, so I was saying something here. I was talking about mass. No, see, these people know in Paris. Okay, they have this jar. Just try to get some ideas, guys. Okay, not very difficult. This is a jar. Okay, it is vacuum. No, nothing is there. Air is also they have removed. Air also gone from here. Is vacuum. No particles. Nothing. Okay, they have kept here one cylinder like this. See, this cylinder is made up of platinum. Okay, platinum, iridium. Okay, these are metals. So it's an alloy actually. And they have kept it of certain size actually. I'm not even worried about the size or anything. But you know what they said? Whatever is or however amount of heaviness this has, okay? Wrong sentence actually. Sound doesn't sound good at all. Whatever mass it has, however heavy it is, people started calling it 1 kg. Can you understand what I said just now?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, they just kept it somewhere, some proper shaped platinum iridium alloy, okay, casted in cylinder, and they kept it like that. And you know what they said? We will all call it 1 kg. So this became a standard. This is our reference. Do you understand? That is what I was talking about. This is now our standard reference. Okay, so this is what people started calling what as 1 kilogram. Now how they distribute all over the world? Okay, they make copies of this, exact identical copies, and they send everywhere in all the countries. Okay, and every country knows that, yeah, this much mass, this much heavy object, right? We will call it what, guys? 1 kg in America, 1 kg in India. So everywhere you go, 1 kg remains the same. Do you understand? This is how kg was born. Okay, guys, are you clear with this part?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this was done in 1889. Okay, Paris, France. You can check. There is some name of this bureau. They said International Bureau. They're not important. Okay, but when I give you the note, okay, I'll send you the note PDF. You please read that. Not important. Okay, but this is how they made the standard of measuring mass. Okay, so but I do not know whether you have heard about this or not. Do you know that in May the definition of mass has been changed? 2019. 1
No,
kg,
sir.
1 kg, 1 kg.
No, sir.
This one I do not know. Your teacher said or not. Now there's a new definition of 1 kg, and that depends on Planck's constant. If you have not heard about Planck's constant, for the time being, it's quite all right. But let me just tell you, people can make much better measurements over time with better instruments or better technology or better laws, okay, or better principles. So you know what, the measurements can become more and more and more accurate, okay. So at present date, these people in the SI system, right, they have changed the whole definition of mass. They don't use this definition of mass anymore. Okay, one of the reason I'll tell you. If I go and measure this cylinder, no, where is that cylinder? See, if I go and measure this cylinder after 20 years, do you think it will remain same, or it will have some kind of what to say? Some kind of deviation? What do you think, guys? Do you think this platinum iridium will stay like this forever, or it will change, right? A bit, right? After many years.
Yes, sir.
So do you think I can still call it 1 kg, or it will be not equal to 1 kg? What do you think?
Not 1 kg.
Not 1 kg. So you realize the definition of 1 kg already comes with a problem, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because this item cannot remain like this forever, okay? So it can deviate, it can have a slightly different mass after, let's say, 20, 30, 50, 100, I don't know how many years, okay? So that's why people need to come and write some proper definitions, okay? So that's why, you know what, now they have changed. After 100 years, actually, after 100 years, people have really changed, okay? Because there is something called Planck's constant, and we can do that. We can define 1 kg based on Planck's constant, but that is not important for you, okay? But if any case somebody asks you, tell them, okay, that this is the old definition, we have a new definition for 1 kg, okay? Let's talk about 1 second, guys. See, 1 meter, no? 1 meter, yes. So what is 1 meter, guys? What do you think? What is 1 meter? Don't say 100 centimeter equal to 1 meter, okay? I'm not asking you that. I'll tell you what is 1 meter, okay, guys? See. Or let's go to 1 second first. 1 second is very nice. Do you know what is 1 second, guys? If I ask you, what is 1 second? Any idea? Your teacher have discussed. Those who have going to school, your teacher, have they done these topics? Paimon, no, started?
Yes, sir.
They have discussed all these definitions and all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then see, okay. So, what is 1 second? What is 1 second? First of all, let me just ask you simply, what is 1 second, guys? It is a measurement of which quantity? It's a measurement of
Time.
time. Okay, and what is this 1 second actually? It is a duration, right? It is
Yes, sir.
duration between two events. Time is always a duration between two events. Length is always a gap between 2 points. This is event number 1, event number 2. The gap, right, the duration in these two events, we call it time, okay? So now try to understand, okay? This is a very difficult actually for me, but let me try to explain. See, so what is 1 second actually, okay? See, if I take cesium, do you know cesium? Have you heard about cesium?
Yes, sir.
Suppose we take 133, that is isotope mass, okay, of cesium. Don't worry about these numbers right now, but imagine there is cesium. This is cesium. By now, have you heard about something called ground state, excited state? Any idea about that, guys?
No, sir.
No?
No.
Okay, ground state means an atom like this has low energy. Lowest energy actually. At least you understand, no, what is ground state now, I think?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if anything which has lowest energy, we say it is in the ground state. If an atom or molecule has more energy, we call it in the excited state. Okay, I think ground state is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now one thing is happening. Even in the ground state, I'm repeating. Okay, if you don't understand this, that's quite alright, but at least let's try to see something. See, guys, in cesium, there are 2 levels. You will not understand, I have no problem with that. 2 levels. Let's call it level 1 and level 2. I'm just talking very simple here, not going into detail. Let me tell you, this level corresponds to low energy, and this level corresponds to a bit high energy. It is on top, no, a bit higher. Okay, now let me tell you what is happening. See, guys, what can happen is that the electron from the higher level can go to which level, guys?
Lower.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this can happen. Okay, this means electron can lose energy. That is all I want to tell you. Electron in cesium 133 can lose energy, and also this can happen. See, guys, electron can also go up there, okay, can go from high to lows and low to high by losing energy and by gaining energy. If it goes from high to low, it will lose energy. If it is going to gain energy, it is going to go from low to high. No problem with that, okay. Don't worry about this also, but look at this, see guys, one important thing. Whenever electrons, they jump from high to low orbits like that, higher state to lower state, always an electron will lose, or the atom will lose energy in the form of light or radiation, we call it. Do you understand what I said just now? I'll repeat again.
Yes.
Okay, whenever electron goes from higher energy state to which state? Lower
Lower.
energy. Yes,
Lower.
lower. Yeah, so it's going to lower. So what should happen to the electron, guys? Tell me. Should it gain energy or should it lose energy? Lose energy. Yes, lose energy. Whenever the electron is losing energy, it's like it's giving out energy. Giving out energy. Giving out energy means in some form, and light is a form of energy, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
So look here. So electron, when it jumps from higher to lower, electron will lose energy in the form of light, and that light is actually, let's call it radiation. Okay, we don't call it light, let's call it radiation. So now let's come back to this, see guys. Now how many radiations can come out? One radiation, because okay, check. Okay, see, if electron goes down once like that, how many radiations will be emitted? Only one.
One.
If electron again goes up and down, again how many radiations will be emitted? One. Again, if it goes up and down, again how many radiations will be emitted? One. So corresponding to one transition, going up and going down, one radiation, okay, light, that means will be emitted. Okay, now let's try to understand this. See guys, it's difficult actually, but let's try to still understand. Imagine, okay, imagine this is actually more than, okay, 9 billion actually, okay, 9 and followed by 3 zeros, 3 zeros, 0 zeros. It's like 9 billion. Okay, I don't even want to read it. Okay, like this, 9 billion 192 million, I think. No, not 192. Yeah, 192,631,770. Imagine so many times. Okay, that's a very big number. Okay, 9 billion times electron is going up and down like that. Can you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if so many times the electron is going up and down, it's going to emit so many radiations or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the time, okay, the duration in which so many radiations will be emitted, that is what we call as 1 second. Can you understand?
Ah, yes, sir.
Now you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is fixed. Okay, by the way, this is fixed. Every time so many radiations will be emitted, and it's happening very fast. Can you visualize? Do you think it's happening slow or very fast, guys?
So
Very
It's
fast.
very fast. So many times the radiations are coming out. Okay, and the duration of whatever, right, or whatever duration we have, that duration with so many radiations coming out, that is what we are going to call it as 1 second. So you can imagine, okay, so it is happening very fast because it's a microscopic level. No, the time is 1 second for us is nothing, but for them 1 second is quite a lot of time. And in that quite a lot of time, so many radiations can be emitted by cesium, this particular atom. Don't look at any other atom, okay? And that duration is what is known as 1 second for us. Okay, this is till today we are not changing it. Okay, the definition of 1 second goes like that. But guys, are you clear what is 1 second?
yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. So now you see, we have we know what is 1 second and we know what is 1 kilogram. Let's look at what is 1 meter very quickly. Okay, other things I'm not going to talk. Let me tell you what is speed of light, guys. See, do you know what is the speed of light? Speed of light.
10.
Okay, 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Okay, but do you think it's exact or approximate?
Approximate.
Approximate. Okay, I'll tell you again another approximate, but a better approximate. Okay, see, this is also not very true. Okay, it is also an approximate. That is this one, 299,792. Even I used to forget. Okay, so 299,792 458. Okay, 458. Okay, look at this. So actually it is not this. Okay, it is actually this, but this is also, what do you think, guys, is exactly accurate or approximate? This is actually, in a way, it is also an approximate. Okay, meters per second, of course, meters per second. So what is meters for us? Okay, we're looking for what is meters. What is 1 meter? See guys, okay. If I ask you what is meter, your answer is meter must be a distance. Okay. The distance can be written like this, okay. Distance is equal to speed into time. You'll agree no with this, right guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you're not understanding, don't worry, but please look at this. Distance means speed into time.
Time.
Okay, let's try to measure this. Okay, see, I'm writing here something. I'm writing here 299 in place of speed. Okay, I'm writing 299 792 458, and I'm writing here, okay, nothing but let's say unit of distance. Okay, speed must be distance by time, so distance unit by time, and that is your time unit. So I think I'll just write directly, okay, that is what we call as meters per second. That is what I'm going to use. So meters per second, I've written the speed of light, and then I'm going to multiply by time. Okay guys, please check, I think you will get me now. I'm multiplying by time. Now look at the time that I'm taking. See guys, 299,792,458 seconds. Okay, now you tell me, what am I calculating? Only looking at this part, what am I calculating? If I'm multiplying the speed and with this time, what am I calculating guys? Am I calculating speed?
Meter.
Am I calculating speed, am I calculating time, or am I calculating distance?
So distance.
Okay, so I'm telling you again, multiplying this and this, right, the speed and time is like calculating distance.
Distance.
But distance travel by what? Distance travel by what?
Light.
By
Light.
light, yeah, because that's the speed of light. So this is distance travel by light.
Light.
Distance travel by light in how many seconds?
2.
In 1 second or 1 by 299? 1 by
by
299,799, 2, 4, 5, 8. Distance traveled by light in so many seconds, okay? That is what we are going to call as 1 meters. Can you understand? Because see, this will cancel with this, seconds will cancel with this, we are only going to left out with
Meter.
1 meter. So do you understand what is 1 meter guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So do you think it is very big or quite small, the time?
Very small.
Very small. But still light can travel how many meters in that time? 1 meters.
1 meter.
Okay, and you can visualize now, you know how much is 1 meters, right guys? Okay, you know, I think, how much is 1 meters?
Yes, sir.
So every
Yes,
time
sir.
every time you think about meters, you can say that, yeah, I know that in so much time, in such a small time, light has already traveled 1 second. No, it's like that, okay? But you got the idea, right? Everything has some proper definition here, okay? All of them, they have definition. Right now, I'm not going to talk about definition of this, and this, because, okay, I can only tell you candela right now, very easy one. Others I don't want to tell you right now, okay? They all have definition, it's up to you, okay? When you become more comfortable with the whole syllabus, then you can study it, okay? But I'll tell you what is one candela. One candela is very simple, guys. See, if you just take, one candle, okay, one candle, and light it. The brightness of this candle, okay, B-R-I-G, the brightness of this candle, I'm going to say it is 1 CD, candela. Can you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I have 2 candles, how much is the brightness, guys? Now you tell me. If I have two candles,
candela.
2 candela, the brightness equivalent to that of 2 candles, we will call it 2 candela. The brightness equivalent to of 3 candles, we'll call it 3 candela, and so on, okay? Guys, Arjay, you're not speaking. Arjay, are you clear what we are doing? Arjay, listening? Arjay is watching TV. Arjay?
No, sir, my
Oh.
mic is. Yes, sir, I'm listening, but
Okay.
my mic is broken, so that's why taking
Okay,
time.
okay, fine. Then, one bha is there, no? Not one bha. How can it
Yes,
be?
sir.
How can it be one bha? No, one bha is a girl's name, no? Manva, right? Okay, Manva, how was your result? You got your result? No?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, good. Or even ICSE, everybody has got, no? I think by now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how much percentage you guys are getting? Follow me, no?
Sir,
Sir, 86%.
86. Then Daphilin?
so I got 93.4.
Okay. Then don't worry, I'm not judging your intelligence here, okay? Just checking. You did not appear exam also, no? And just getting marks like that, very good. Then what about Manva?
90, sir.
Good, good. Okay, Aisha, how much you got?
85.
Okay, fine. Then who's left? Yes, I forgot your name again.
Sir, Ishita.
Ishita, how much? Oh, you did not get. You did not get. No,
No, sir,
not
we
yet, not
get
yet.
the afternoon.
Yes. Okay, fine. Okay, so just now I was talking about System International. I told you most of the time in the entire book, okay, we will be following this international system. Advantage, I already told you, whatever we need to study in physics, okay, everything, all the quantities that we are going to talk in physics, we can get their quantities by using these 7 basic quantities, okay, or fundamental quantities we call them, and corresponding to that we have fixed some units. We are always going to use these units, no other units, okay. But apart from that, let me just tell you, we have 2 more supplementary units, and those are your plane angle, which you every time use. Solid angle is something we never use till now. I don't think so you have used solid angles. Have you ever used solid angles? I don't think so, okay. But you have used plane angle every time, okay. In geometry mainly, you know what's a plane angle, right? You have a line,
Yes, sir.
you have a line, you have another line. Angle tells you the orientation between the two lines, okay. So we have this, right? This is what is called as angle for us, and you have measured it like this with your protractor, no? How much degree, guys? Maybe 60 degree. So you know, right, how to express angle measurement, okay. But let me tell you, anybody who knows the definition of angle? What is the definition of an angle? Using an arc. What is the definition? Anybody knows? Using an arc. Okay. Let me just show you something. Okay. This we need every time. So I need this. So let me just talk about that. This is a line, and this is a line. Okay. It's like a circle. Imagine like a circle. This is like an arc. No, arc of a circle, right? You know, sector and segment like that.
Yes, sir.
You have seen this, I'm sure. Okay. This, let's say, is A point, this is point B, this is point O, and this is the radius R we have. Okay. And this is L, let's call it arc length. You know what is arc length by now, no? Arc length. So this angle subtended by the arc at the center, okay, we call this angle, let's call it theta. This is a plane angle because this entire diagram is a plane. It's lying flat, okay. Then, so what is the definition of angle from here? Provided this angle is small, or anything actually. So can you tell me what is the definition, or what is the relation between them? Theta is equal to weighting. Yes. Anybody who knows this? Okay, you don't know, no? I think we want. Okay. Please remember, every time I want to measure an angle like that using an arc, I can always write it like arc length, which is the length of this arc. You just come and divide it by the radius, okay, this one, which is equal to this also actually, that is also radius. You get the measurement of an angle in a unit, okay, which we call as radians. Have you heard about radians, guys? Can you hear me? Yes.
The SI unit.
SI unit, yes, this is the SI unit, yes. This is SI unit of angle. You are not allowed to use degrees, okay, that is what I want to say. See, you are not going to tell me 60 degree, not usable, we cannot use it. Of course, sometimes we can use it depending on the question, but in SI system, okay, we will try to stay with what measurement, guys? Measurement of angle in which units, guys?
Radian.
Radians. If you are not clear, let me just show you what I mean, okay? You have obviously seen pi, radians. Tell me what is pi? Pi represents an angle or not? Not radius, my bad. Not radius, radian. Don't worry, you'll get me what I'm trying to say. Pi radian. Have you heard about pi? Pi by 2, I'm sure you have heard about pi by 2 radians. What does it represent, guys? What is pi by 2? This one, right?
90 degree.
90 degree. Pi by 2 radians means, okay, let me show you how many units are there right now in this particular thing I've written. See, there are 2 units. This, if I just write pi by 2, what is the unit I'm using, guys? Radians, yes, okay. And if I write here this one like that, right, it is obviously I'm using degrees. This also represents this angle, this also represents this angle. That's why they are same. I think you understand here, right? Okay, I'll show you another one. If I just write pi or pi radians, right? Radian, RAD, okay. Tell me, what do I mean? Which angle?
180.
180 degrees, like talking about an angle called 180. Okay, I'm sure you know these things. Okay, so suppose if I have a point here like this, and then this angle, right, like that. This is what is 180 degree for us. Okay, so I have a relation between two units. That's your angle measurement, that is radians and degrees, and we know how they look like. Okay, and we know when I say 90 degree, you know what does it mean. When I say 60 degree, you know what does it mean. If I say pi radians, you also understand I'm talking about 180 degree only. But the point is, if I'm talking about SI system, you're always going to talk in terms of this, and we can convert them. That's the best part, no? See, so look at these two relations. Okay, I can write this one. Let me just remove this quickly, because we need in future. Okay, in very next, okay, we will need this. I can also write 180 degree happens to be equals to pi radians. And please remember, don't forget what was pi. What is pi for us, guys? Pi is equal to how much? 22 by 7. It's a number, right? It's a number which looks like that. Don't worry, we can use anytime we want. Okay, so please check, guys. See, so from here, if I ask you what is 1 radians, what is your answer from here? Is equivalent to talking about, yes or no? Check. Unitary method.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this pi can go down. So you have done this. Okay, this is just a revision. Actually, you are good in maths, I'm sure. 1 radians happens to be equal to 180 by pi degrees. So in this problem, okay, what I'm trying to do is this. If I ask you what is 10 radians, what is your answer, guys? Equal to how many degrees? Check, I'm using this one. Simple. Yes. 180 degrees by pi. Of course, I have to multiply by what, guys? 10.
10.
No? So when I calculate this, okay, by putting, don't keep the pi like that, come and put 22 by 7. I'll get some numbers. I'm not worried about the numbers right now. Okay, I'll get a number, right? But that will be in radians or degrees? Degrees. So I have converted what into what, guys? I have converted 10 radians into degrees. Okay, so this is needed. Okay, that's why I'm writing it. Same thing goes here also. From here I can write, okay, 1 degree is equal to how much, guys? Pi by 180 radians. Do you understand? This is a conversion from degrees to what? Radians. So suppose I ask you now, tell me how much is 32 degrees in terms of radians. Your answer is 32 degrees must be 32 times of this, right?
Yes, sir.
Because 1 degree is so much, 32 degrees must be 32 times of that. That means 32 into pi by 180. But I have got a radian measurement. Put here 22 by 7. We have converted 32 degrees in terms of radians. Okay. So no problem with this right now. We have to just know it. That's it. But what I was trying to tell you is that there are 2 supplementary units that we need apart from those 7 base fundamental units, and we call them what, guys? Supplementary SI units. Okay. So that is plane angle. That is what I've just talked right now. Definition is one way you can think it is just like taking the arc divided by radius. Okay, that's how you get. Unit is radians. We call it RAD, rad. Okay, and now I have something called solid angle. Solid angle, I told you you have not used. Solid angle, we use a symbol called omega. Symbol for plane angle is theta. Okay, I'm speaking very fast. Later when you revise, everything should be clear. Don't worry, you got these things. Okay, so see, omega is the symbol. Okay, so see. So what is the unit of solid angle? Or let me just ask you, or let me just tell you what is the solid angle. See, guys, if I imagine an angle not in a plane but in a space, means 3D like that. See, I have to really take an area here. Okay, see, I'm replacing something. Okay, earlier we had an arc, now I have an area here. Can you understand what I'm trying to do, guys? Check. This is an area here. Earlier we just took arc, no? Like this. We took an arc, we took a point, and then we measured this as the angle. We call it plane angle. Plane angle. And you know what is theta, right? Theta equals to L by R. L divided by R. In a plane, right? But look at this now. What do you think? If I talk about an angle at this point now, this thing actually, right? What do you think? This is an angle in a plane or angle in a 3D space, guys? Can you visualize it?
In a 3D space.
Angle in a 3D space. Can you visualize, guys, what I'm trying to show you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can have a much bigger area like that. Say, guys, much bigger area. Take this point. Try to subtend some angle here. Now you decide. This angle number 1 is large or number 2 is large?
So,
In number 2, right?
number two.
Number 2 we have a much bigger angle, right? You can already understand it is not plane but it's 3D, but somehow we are getting an idea, no? That is a much bigger angle here, right? It's a bigger area here, check.
Yes,
Area
yes,
is big,
sir.
okay, and here we have smaller area, and yeah, the angle here is small right now, okay, no problem with that. But do you understand the difference between angle and solid angle?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here also we have a radius here, okay, by the way, because this is like an arc here, okay. Definition of solid angle is this, guys, see. The definition of solid angle is, you take the area, don't take the arc length, we take the entire area, and in when we divide, we don't divide by radius, we divide by what? Radius square. That's how we get it, okay. But at this point I will just say, let's not focus right now in solid angle. Just remember there's something called solid angle and the unit is called steradian, okay. Right now this much is good enough for us. I think we're okay, right, till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then let's go to some advantages, okay. See, so why we are always going to follow this SI system? See, okay guys, try to understand the bigger picture here, okay. From today onwards, if I ask you to use FPS system, you should be knowing what to do. If I ask you to convert from FPS to CGS or SI, you should be knowing what to do. Don't use CGS, go to SI means don't use centimeter, go and use meter or convert them. Don't use degree. If I tell you use SI system, you have to come and convert into radians. I think you are following me, no? I think, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when I do
Yes,
that, okay,
sir.
yeah. So when I ask you to change the system, you go and change, okay, whatever is inside it, no, the quantities, okay, just change them, no problem with that, okay. Now, what are the advantages? Okay, let's read the advantages. See, guys, the first advantage of your SI system is a metric system. I'll tell you, I'll help you out why it's called a metric system. It means it is very easy to use prefixes, that is multiples and submultiples. I'll give an example. See, okay, here guys, see. You know about multiples and submultiples, and for SI system it is very easy to use these multiples and submultiples. I'll come to this, okay guys, don't worry about that. But that's one advantage. Another advantage of SI system, it is a coherent system. That means by simply dividing, okay, by simply multiplying or dividing these fundamental, the 7 fundamental units, I can get any other units, I can get all the other units without any multiplication or numerical factor. I'll help you out with this very quickly, okay. I've read it, don't worry, whatever I've read it, but look at the idea. See, guys, if I ask you what is the unit of speed in SI system, SI units, okay, unit of speed, your answer is what, guys?
Meter
meter per second.
Meter per second. Okay, so we got, because we use SI system, here we use length, here we have used time units. Those are fundamental, if you remember, length, mass, time, luminous intensity, mole, and all those things, okay. These are fundamental. And notice I don't have any factor here. I got the unit of, what is the unit, what is this, guys, what is this unit of? What?
speed.
Speed. By using SI fundamental units of length and time. Do I have to write a multiplier by 10, or I don't need to? Do I need a 10 here to get the unit of speed?
No, sir.
We don't need a 10, okay, to get the unit of speed. We don't need a 100 here to get a unit of speed. So do we have any numerical factors or no numerical factors?
No numerical factor.
See, we have used SI system, meter and second is SI system, to get the unit of speed, and I don't have any numerical factor like 10 or 20 or anything. I don't have that. But sometimes, you know what, other systems we have to write their okay, the factors there, okay. That is quite bad for the other systems, okay. But for SI systems we don't have that. That's why we call it a coherent system, okay. So please check, the name is called coherent system, and we can derive all units by simply multiplying or by simply dividing the fundamental units, and I don't have any numerical factors associated, okay. I can simply get them, okay. So that is one thing. If you've understood, it's quite okay. If you're going to take time, that is also okay, okay. Yes, one more thing, in SI system it is a rational system, we call it, they call it, okay. Some books I read it. So why we call it rational system, let me just tell you that. It is called rational system because we have 1 unit for one physical quantity. We don't have 3-4 units for one physical quantity. I'll give an example, okay? Then you'll understand. See guys, you know in MKS system, one second, okay? In MKS system, I'll tell you what happens. Tell me, how do we measure heat, guys? Do you know how to measure heat? In which units? Anybody who can, just tell me, sir, any units. Heat.
Kelvin.
No, heat is measured in kelvins.
What calorie?
Calories, yes. Yes, anything else? Who want to tell me? Okay, heat is like what? Heat is a form of energy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Heat can also be measured in what, guys? Tell me.
Joules.
Joules, because it's like energy. Yes. And what else, guys? Okay. In electricity, anybody knows? Have you heard about what hour?
Yes, sir.
Watt hour, somewhere you have heard, no? Yeah, watt hour is also a unit of energy, okay? But in electricity we use that. So if I'm following MKS system, suppose, oh, by the way, all of these are energy, okay? Calorie is also energy, joule is also energy, watt hour is also energy. But if I am following MKS system, or let's say other systems, if I ask you to calculate heat in thermodynamics, okay, you are going to give me the answer in what? Calories.
Calories.
And then if I ask you in motion, you are going to give me the answer in what? Joules. And if I bring a chapter of electricity and then I calculate the energy, you are going to give me answer in? But do you understand? All of them are different or they are same quantities? All are same. All of them are unit of what? Energy. So there's a problem already, no? So many units, calories, joules and whatever in only one system. Just imagine. I have a single system with so many different units. That is quite bad. So what is the answers, guys? So answer is what? The answer is our SI system. In SI system, you always going to use what, guys? Joules. Doesn't matter. Any energy, heat energy, chemical energy, electrical energy, okay, motional energy like kinetic energy, potential energy. We don't complicate things, okay, in SI system. We always use joules. We never use calories. We have only one, okay, that is what is meant by this one, no? Rational, I think the word, right? Where is that? So see, guys, okay, this one. So why we call it rational system, guys? I think you can understand now. In SI system, we call it rational system because only one unit is used for a given physical quantity. We don't complicate things. We don't write many units. Okay, I think you got my point. Okay, guys, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So far, I think we are okay, no, guys? I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now see. Okay, we have something called multiples and submultiples, and I told you we use in SI system very easily. So please check. Okay. See. So what is the meaning of prefix? Prefix is something, right? We put before, no, of anything. Okay. So please check. Deca is a prefix. The symbol we use for deca is Da, and it simply means a multiple. Okay, it's a multiple of 10 to the power 1. If I tell you hecto means H, multiple of 100, 10 to the power 2. Kilo means 1000. Mega means 10 to the power 6. As I go down, you can understand these multiples are increasing. Okay, we have giga, we have tera, we have peta. Okay, till here is fine. There are more also. I don't want to talk. If you really want to study them, you can do that. But the multiples are like this, guys. See, deca means I'm talking about 10 to the power 1. Hecto means 10 to the power 2. Kilo means 10 to the power 3000. Mega means millions also, or 10 to the power 6. That is the meaning of million, 6 zeros. Giga means 10 to the power 9. We have 9 zeros followed, of course, after 1. We call it billion. Then we have tera. Okay, tera means 10 to the power 12, and peta means 10 to the power 15. Now, what is the meaning of talking about this, right? So see, if I come and tell you, if I just write m, right, all of you know, right, it is called meter. Okay, this is clear, right? Meter, right? M is meter. Okay, but if I write here k, the k actually means what, guys? See, k up for us is what? Kilo. Okay, kilo simply means how much, guys, for us? It's a number. Okay, kilo means what? Kilo means 1000 or 10 to the power 3. So if I write km, this m is not milli or something, okay, that is meters only. This is called prefix. It's always in before, not after, okay. Prefixes are always before, no? So that's why we have this is the prefix, and this is m means meter. So we have kilometer, and what I mean is what? Nothing but what? Kilo means what, guys? According to us, 10 to the power 3. And this m means meter. You simply come and write here m. That means 10 to the power 3 meters is known as kilometer. That is like writing 1000 meters. Okay, I hope you understand this prefix and how do we use, right? Check. Easy, right, guys? This one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is done with everything. Suppose I tell you, yeah, some more. Okay, kg. Let me use kg. No. So what is kg, guys? Kg. This k stands for kilogram. That is how much? 10 to the power 3, and then grams. Okay, that is like writing 1000 grams. I think this part is clear. Yeah, this is clear. I think so. Of course, clear. Okay. So yeah, one more thing. If I write m, what should I write? No, let me write m volt. So suppose I write like that, okay, million volt. M volt means million volt. You can understand 10 to the power 6 volt. Okay, let's not even talk about that. We'll be in practice later. All of this, don't worry about that. Okay, let's go to another prefixes. Okay, but these are not multiples. These are sub multiples. We call it. Okay. So see, what is the meaning of sub multiples? These are all powers of 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, higher powers. So these are all bigger powers. But sub multiples takes us to smaller values. Example I'll give you. Don't really get it when we do properly. Deci if I use, okay, earlier we had deca, okay. Deca is big, hecto, all these are big. But deci is small. I'll tell you why deci is small, okay. And D is the symbol we use. Deci means 10 to the power, not 1, but 10 to the power minus 1. And I think you understand what is the meaning of minus 1, right? It's like writing like this, right? Opposite, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I just write 10, it's like multiplying. But if I write 10 to the power minus 1, it's like what? Dividing, no? Dividing by 10. Okay, I think got me, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's like dividing by 10. Okay, so see. So when I have this deci, and then, okay, which represents 1 by 10, we have centi, okay? I'll show you how to use it. C means small c means centi, and you know, and you can understand now it means 10 to the power minus 2. 10 to the power minus 2 is like what? 10 to the power 1 by 10 to the power 2. That is like 1 by 100. It's like dividing by 100. It's going to give you a much smaller thing, okay? So as I go below, okay, and below these prefixes, they are becoming smaller and smaller. Milli is much small. Micro is much small. Nano, pico, femto. Milli represents small m is the symbol. Micro, mu, nano, and pico, pf is femto. Please go through this, all these things, okay? Milli means 10 to the power minus 3, it's like dividing by 1000. Micro means 10 to the power minus 6, it's like divided by 1 million. Can you understand? Micro means dividing by 1 million. So the answer that you're going to get is going to be very small. You can already see. Nano means dividing by 10 to the power 9. That means dividing by billion. Okay. And pico 10 to the power minus 12, and then so on. Okay. So let me just show you something, and you tell me whether you understand or not. See. So if I write here, see guys. Do you understand? I have written what here, guys? What is this? This is prefix, 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 prefix. Okay. And these are the units. This is unit, 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 unit. Okay. So what is this unit, guys? This is meters. This is also meters. This is also meters. What is this, guys? Grams. What is this? This is second. And these are prefixes. These are prefixes. This is not meter. Okay. Can I call it meter? This one.
No, sir.
No. This is called milli. Milli is a prefix, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
that is milli. Okay. So this is centimeter. So what do you understand, guys? See, centimeter means meter or 100 times smaller than meter. You understand? 100 times, because this is like 1 by 100. Okay, 1 by 100 of a meter. It's like take a meter, divide into 100 small parts, and you take the small part. This one, this is called. Okay, if you divide 100 times, this is called 1 by 100 of a meter. Okay, and that is what we call as what? 1 centimeter. No, right, guys? Okay, are you getting me? Am I going too fast? No, I think you understand. No, what is a centimeter, right? You take 1 meter. Yeah, I think you got it. Okay, 1 meter. You divide into 100 parts. Each part is called what, guys?
1 centimeter.
1 centimeter, no? That's why we have something like that, okay? Millimeter is like that again. So millimeter is like what, guys? Take 1 meter, divide into how many parts, guys?
1,000 parts.
1,000 parts. Divide into 1,000 parts. And that one small part, that is what is known as what, guys?
1 millimeter.
1 millimeter. Just imagine, okay? You take 1 meter, divide into 1,000 parts. The one part that you take is called millimeter. We're just getting an idea of all these things, okay? Don't worry, okay? So you know these things. Nanometer, okay? Imagine nanometer. You take a meter, divide into 1 billion parts. Just imagine 1 billion. I cannot even imagine actually. Nobody can, no? That's small. So 1 nanometer is quite small. The small part of that huge billion, no? Parts. That is such a small distance that is what we call as nanometers, okay? Then mg is milligrams, 10 to the power 3 grams. Okay, that means you take a gram and divide by 1,000. No, that is called a milligram. Millisecond, take 1 second, divide into 1,000 parts. It's such a small duration, short duration. That is your 1 milliseconds. Okay, so all these are small prefixes. We call them submultiples. But you understand, right? It's very easy, no, to keep the fixes like this, right, guys? Okay. So yeah, okay, that is what we have. Okay, I'll just do one more topic very quickly. Then I'll stop for today, I think. Okay, so measurement of all this also we have to do. Measurement of angles I've already talked, conversion I've talked, but I've not talked about measurement of small angles. Now this is important, okay? I'll give you some work on based on this. See guys, have you heard about something called arc minute?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, those who are going school, you have heard, okay. Okay. Those who are at home, they don't know what is arc minute and arc second. I will try my best to tell you what are these, okay? See, arc minute and arc second, both, okay? They are measurement of what angles, guys? Smaller angles. You want to measure angles, of course, you use degrees, no problem. You use radians, no problem. But still we have small units. Now let me tell you why do we need bigger units and why do we need smaller units, okay? So suppose I tell you, okay, to measure the length of a road, okay, from here till where do you want to measure? Till Delhi, okay? Okay, fine, Delhi. Tell me the unit that you will use, or tell me a scale that you will use. Length. Kilometer, okay, fine. Let's go to till Guwahati only, no? Because we know the value. How much is the answer, guys? From here to Guwahati? 100, okay, yes, okay. Look, she knows. Okay, so Shillong to Guwahati is 100 what? Kilometer. We all know what is kilometer, yes, okay, and then 100 times of that. Okay. Do you agree this is a bad way of writing? Please check. 100, okay. Then 10 to the power 3 meters. You will agree to me that on that, right?
Yes, sir.
Kilo means 1,000, so I'm writing that, okay. This is a bad way of writing. I'll show you another bad way of writing. See, 1,000 into 10 to the power 3. Every meter is 100 centimeters, so I'll again have 100 no here and then centimeter. Notice, I'm changing my units, right? What are this? What is the unit here, guys? Kilometer. I've converted into meter, yes, and I've converted into
Centimeter.
okay. This is a very bad way of writing. Why?
It's confusing.
Okay, but I can write like this:
Sir,
100
too many digits.
2 3 4 5. Okay, then centimeter. Okay, too many digits. Okay, fine. Then some other reason why this is bad.
It's not
So
convenient.
it's very big.
It's not convenient. Okay, you already don't like it. Looking at that, somebody asks you, okay, for how long we'll have class, and they tell you 54 billion seconds or 54,000 million seconds. Okay, that is quite bad, no? Because you know why? Because check, I'm trying to measure the length of a road, and I'm using a scale of centimeters, right? Divisions. Okay, that is very bad. I'm trying to measure something very big, and I'm using a very small unit. So it's quite bad for us, right? We don't want to do that. But centimeter is very useful, okay? If I ask you what is the length of this pencil, no? Pencil. Will you bring a kilometer scale?
No, sir.
Okay, you don't bring a scale, okay? Kilometer long and then try to measure, no? This one. So which scale will you use?
Centimeter.
Okay, with a division which is centimeter, yes. Okay, so that makes more sense to us, no? Measurement also. You cannot tell me the answer is 0.0015 kilometer, okay? Very bad, no? So do we need small units or not, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Do we need bigger units or not?
Yes.
Yes, we need bigger units, yes, of course. Okay, because in the length of the road, you will use kilometers, no? Much better way,
Yes, sir.
convenient way, okay. So, We need smaller units, we need bigger units. That's why you can check, okay, here also. Do I need to measure small angles? Yes. Every time 1 degree is not good, every time 1 radian is not good for us. Sometimes we need much smaller angles, and that's why we have much smaller angles, and that is what, guys, check. We call it what and what? One is called arc minute.
Arc minute.
Yes, and one is called
Arc
arc
second.
second. Okay, yes, okay. So look at this diagram, you will understand yourself. See, look at this, okay. From here to, you have seen a protector, no? You have seen a protector, it looks like this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, so we have a point. You guys are not tired now, I think, hearing my voice for so long? Getting angry if the class is long?
Sir.
Okay. So see, okay. This mark is our point. This mark is 0 mark. Let's say this is 90 degree mark and this is 180 degree mark. Okay. How many lines do you think we have, guys? Divisions I'm talking about. This is a division here like that. Somewhere here 45 degree, no? Do you think we have only these lines? 1, 2, 3 like that? Or we have more
No,
lines?
sir.
No, sir.
We have more lines. Okay. So how many lines do you think I have here? How many lines? From the entire protector.
180.
180 lines. Yeah, 180 divisions we have. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, 180 divisions. Still here we have 5 degrees, 10, 15, 20, 25, maybe 30, 35, 40 and 45. Okay, so yeah, so I have 5 divisions here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, very small, no? 5 divisions like that. Like that. That is 5 degree angle, right? This one, okay. Let's draw 1 degree angle. Okay, that's what I want to draw. See, guys. So let's say I'm still drawing it big. Okay, it's not 1 degree. Okay, I'm still trying to draw it big so you can see. Suppose this is 1 degree angle. I hope you understand what is 1 degree, right? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is 1 degree angle for us. Okay, now check. I take this 1 degree and I again divide it into 60 small parts. Just imagine. Very difficult actually, okay, for me to draw. No chance. I am not, no chance. I cannot draw it. No chance. But you understand how many divisions I have, guys? 60. 60, I'm telling you again, 60 divisions, okay, like that, we divide 60, not degree, but 60 times, 60 divisions we have. Now tell me, each division is very big or very, very small?
Very small.
Each division is very small. What is the measurement of each division? Look at this. 1 degree divided by how much? 60. That is the measurement of each small division we get after dividing 1 degree 60 times. This is what is called as 1 arc minute. Can you understand what is 1 arc minute? This small angle that we get after dividing 1 degree 60 times, no? That small angle, that's one part of the 60, right? 60 divisions. That angle you can imagine now and tell me, right? Is it a big angle or very small angle, guys?
Very small.
Very small.
And yeah, and that is what we call as what?
Arc minute.
Arc minute. Okay, so you can understand now. If I write 2 dash means what is this? 2 arc minutes. 2 arc minutes means you take 2 divisions out of that 60 divisions, no? After dividing the 1 degree 60 times, okay? But you understood, I think, what I want to tell you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so don't forget it. Arc minute is a unit of what? Is it a unit of angle, time, mass? Angle, yes.
Smaller fingers.
Smaller angles, yeah, you can be more accurate. Arc minute is something which tells us about smaller angles, okay. Now we have one more thing, okay. That to no chance, I cannot visualize, you also very difficult to visualize, but let's try. Let's try, okay. You already have seen, somewhere here we have a very 60th division of that, and we have called it what, guys? This one, see. We call it what, guys? What is this angle? 1 arc minute.
1 arc minute.
Okay. Now you take this 1 arc minute, again divide into 60 times. So yeah, you are getting angry now, okay? I'm sure you should get angry now at this, imagine. So you took 1 arc minute and you dividing 60 times, right? What do you think that angle is, guys? Small or very, very small?
Very, very small.
That is one is called as 1 arc second. Arc second. It is a very, very small angle, okay? Very difficult to imagine also actually. Okay, but guys, did you understand what is arc second and arc minute?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let me just show you very quickly. So what is 1 arc minute? You take 1 degree, check here, you take 1 degree, you divide by 60, we are going to call it 1 arc minute, we write it with a dash, okay, And then what is 1 arc second? We call it double dash. You take the 1 arc minute and you again divide it by not 60 degree, but let's just say degree. Not 60 degree, okay, 60 parts, huh? You divide by 60. Then you come and check. See, every arc minute here is how much? 1 degree divided by 60. So you get this, no? Are you getting what I'm doing? I'll show you again. 1 arc minute is equal to how much, guys? Take 1 degree divide by 60. Okay, this is quite clear. What is 1 arc second? Equals to, take the 1 arc minute, 1 arc minute divide by 60 parts. Okay, you will also agree, right? I can write a 1 by 60. Okay, so let me remove that. Okay, let me write like this. In place of this one, what can I write?
1 by 6.
1 degree by 60. But I also have this 60, right? So I have the 60. I hope this is degree, okay? This one. See. Check this. In place of 1 arc minute, I have written this. 60 itself is there. So this is a relation between what and what, guys? See. It's a relation between what and what? Arc, second, and degree. This one, right? Till here is degree. Till here it is a relation between minute, yes. This is a relation between what and what? Arc
minute.
Arc minute and degree.
And degree. Okay. Then this one is a relation between these two, arc minute and arc second. Right. And of course the last one, no, this one. This is a relation between what and what?
Arc second and degree.
Yeah, that means I can convert, okay, one and the to the other and the other to the first. Okay, we can do that. I have also another way to write it. See, guys, you take 1 degree and divide into 3,600 parts, right? That's the meaning of 60 into 60. That is what is called as 1 arc second. Okay, it's the same thing. So see, just imagine 1 degree divided into 3,600 times, and then you get that arc second. It's a very, very small measurement of angle. Okay. Okay, I've been talking enough right now for today. I will stop. Next day, we are meeting when, guys? Thursday, no? Thursday.
Yes, sir.
So we will do this. We will start measuring this bigger things and all. So these are smaller angles. Then we will try to measure something very, very big distances. Okay, and yeah, I think we should be fine. Guys, any problem from today's class? It's fine.
Yes, it's fine.
It's fine,
Yeah,
no?
it's fine.
It's fine. Okay. Anything from your side? Was I too fast? Because I know I was fast.
Yes, sir, you're fine.
You're fine, no?
Yes, sir.
RJ, what about the speed? Am I okay with the speed or too fast?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm fast.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will do this. I'll go a bit slow. Okay, RJ and Manva is fine.
Yes, that's fine, sir.
Okay, so RJ, what will I do? Okay, I'll send you these notes today. Okay, whatever I've talked, this is for all of you. I'll send. Your job is not to memorize these things. Please do not do that. Just understand what is going on. Don't read here. SI stands for System International D units and memorize the spelling and everything. Conference weights 1960. Don't do that. Okay, that is not for you. Your job is to just to understand what is what. Okay, what is going on, what is inside SI system, what are the base units. Don't start reading these definitions. So many oscillations between CGM levels. Don't do that. Okay, I don't think so. It will ask you. Your job is just to understand what is going on and how to use them. Okay, it's okay. So I will do like this. I will send you for tomorrow. I will send you some questions. Please solve and send me. Okay. Okay, right? I think that's fine, no? That's fair, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will ask you to convert these things: degree into radians, radians into degrees, kilometer into meter, and all those things. Okay. So bye for today. Bye. Thank you, class. Then we'll meet Thursday. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.